Possession is the 21st episode of Beast Wars, airing February 3rd, 1997. In it, a mysterious spark is floating through space and it possesses Waspinator, just for it to turn out to be Starscream from G1. Shenanigans ensue. Due to the wild storm outside, the Maximals choose to store their ammo. You can also see one of Shior's blasters, Rhinox's guns, and one of the ship's blasters. Starscream appears. His face kind of looks like a Decepticon logo here.
Allow me to present myself. Air Commander Starscream of the Decepticon Battle Fleet!
Yeah, it's kind of obvious that Starscream in this episode is played by Pterosaur. And for reasons, Inferno's not in the episode, and neither is Airraiser. And given Black Arachnia in this episode definitely probably takes place before the trigger. So yeah, Starscream is here, because if you remember G1, his ghost appeared. And now that we established sparks are a thing, we kind of retconned it that he's a weird mutation, something, ghost spark or whatever. And his spark's been floating around space for apparently 300 years and somehow made it back in time. Because last time we saw G1 Starscream, he was tossed out into space, and I guess an asteroid destroyed his new body. We won't see a whole lot of Starscream's body in this episode, but what we do see is really cool. Even though his feet look a little big and his head's a completely different color. And also because Starscream's ghost, this establishes that this is G1 cartoon canon. And you can actually notice that Waspinator's Predacon symbols became Decepticon symbols later. We re-established that the Predacons are descendants of the Decepticons. Starscream says he fell defending Galvatron from Unicron, referencing the 80s Transformers movie, and good on them for remembering it was Galvatron at the moment. And then we actually see a CG Unicron, which is awesome. Wait a minute, that Starscream has red Decepticon logos. Wouldn't that have been so weird if it was Shattered Glass Starscream? So yeah, when Waspinator has an actually competent person piloting his body, they actually lead the Predacons to victory and they seize the Axelon. This episode establishes that apparently the Maximals are led by a Council of Elders, instead of a Prime like other seasons, and apparently Starscream's records were all classified. And then somehow Cheetor knew what Starscream was, or at least looked like, for his dream in equal measures. But luckily the Predacons didn't classify his records, and the show remembers that Dinobot used to be a Predacon, so Dinobot notes that he's the most notorious traitor of all, because the Fallen wasn't established as a character yet. But luckily, Black Arachnia has seen the 80s Transformers movie and knows that Galvatron blasted Starscream. Waspinator's little jaw thing clips into his chest, but Black Arachnia and Waspinator work together, until Black Arachnia blows Starscream up.
Hasta la vista, Starscream.
You actually notice that Optimus folds down some sunglasses before he flies off, so this is definitely a Terminator reference. Moon continuity. We have one full moon and the other one is waxing. I don't know a lot about double moon rotations, but that seems wrong since the last major time we saw the moons, they were both full. We see not North America connected to not Europe, and Starscream's spark flies off into the galaxy to fill out someone's fanfiction. This is probably the most famous episode of Beast Wars, and it's definitely worth it. It's awesome. I love seeing Starscream return, cementing that this is G1 continuity, seeing Starscream being Starscream, the Predacons actually succeeding. Black Arachnia's treachery in this episode definitely gives it away that this was probably an earlier episode they aired later for reasons, building up the mistrust that Megatron has for her in the trigger, where there it just felt a little out of place. I love the little lore bits we add to the episode. Overall, 10 out of 10.